Alright guys, good morning. This is the 13th day of the challenge, day 13, and I hope you guys are doing really well. I took yesterday off because Tuesday is my day alone with the kids, which I think I've mentioned before, and last week I had a wonderful neighbor. She watched the kids for a while. She needed some extra money. She's home from college. She watched the kids for a couple hours, gave me time to paint, gave me time to make a video, and so that didn't happen yesterday because she went off on, she was out visiting her grandma, I think, or something similar. And so she wasn't able to watch the kids. And so I had the kids all day, and nobody naps anymore. So by the end of the day, after we had gotten them all put to bed, and afterwards, my wife and I just watched the end of Captain America, The Winter Soldier. It was come on one of the movie channels on cable, so we watched that instead of doing anything productive whatsoever. And it was totally worth it. Totally worth it. I hadn't watched that movie since the theater, and I'd forgotten just how good it was. So that's pretty good. I like it. But that brings us. We'll go ahead and get the day questions out of the way. You can see I got the headdress painted a little better. Oop, there we go. See the red there on the back. Got the surcoat halved in half, with the blue on his right and the red on his left, and even on the back side. You won't be able to see under the thing at all. Let's see if we can get a better light. No, yeah. See, even turning it, you're not really able to see underneath. So even though I did make a wonderfully even line straight down the side, down the middle of the back, you'll never see it. So all I've got left for this guy are his gloves. The front of his surcoat has a little lion on it, or a Bretonian dragon head maybe. We'll figure it out as I paint it. The saddle, horns, the lance, and little bits of gold that are still on his chest, like the belt that goes around him will get gold trim. And I think I'll pick out the little metal beads here on his skirt of his surcoat. Gold on the red side, silver on the blue, like I had done. And then I have to paint the detail of the shield. It's kind of hard to see, but again, it's half red, half blue, like the rest of him. And the chalice that's on the shield will get painted silver, and the crown and the rays of light will get painted gold. So that'll be fun. Maybe you could do the rays of light in yellow, because that's what I was going to do. The dragon, that'll give him some more yellow on the boy, on the old man here. But anyway, enough jibber jabber. Let's get to painting. But again, yesterday's question was, what was your favorite movie villain? And that's too good of a question to really skip. Though I will have to think about it as I prepare. Let's paint the front of his jersey first. But, favorite movie villain of all time. Because there's so many good movies out there, the movies that I've loved. I mean, you could pick your favorite silly movie villain, which could be, I don't know, what's a good silly movie villain? Like, you could pick the Terminator from the first Arnold movie. I mean, that's a great evil bad guy. And you'll forgive the techno music in the background if you can hear it. I've kind of got it on low. Let's see. You kind of want somebody you can like as well as hope they don't win. So that knocks Sauron out from Lord of the Rings. Plus, he's got too much history with all the other stuff. Now that I've got it mixed up, I'm not sure I want to paint the front of his shirt yellow. Yeah, that'd be too glaringly different. Let's not do yellow on him. Let's do gold right there. And we've got, that way we can paint the rest of the gold stuff too. Favorite movie villain? This is turning out to be harder than I expected. And you've got Hans from Die Hard. I mean, that's a great movie villain. He's evil and cruel. He's still kind of cool, though. But then, you know, the big Asian dude from Bloodsport. What an awfully horrible, awesome movie Bloodsport was. Then again, I may be too old for some of you guys out there. There we go. A little bit of Balthazar Gout again. Do that for the base of his shirt. And then we'll put that shining gold on top of it from... Let's go ahead and get that gold over here. And take the opportunity to turn my house music dance mix off. Which I'm always surprised by the videos for house music, because they're nothing like I imagined. They usually involve a lot more women in their underwear than I am prepared for. Luckily, my wife likes house music too, so she understands that if I'm listening and she comes in and there's ladies dancing about in less than their skivvies, it's like, I hate those videos, she says, and just keeps walking. Does not blame me. Reason number 5,812 that I married her. But let's see. Favorite movie villain. I could go with Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, the Disney animated version, because he's likably idiotic, even though he is violent and, you know, tries to kill the beast. Actually stabs him, and they just kind of gloss over that. I guess the magic when he turns into the prince fixes that wagon. Oh, speaking of which, we watched Captain America: The Winter Soldier last night on TV. And you may want to skip over this part if you've never seen that movie, because it will contain some mild spoilers. But you know, the captain, you know, I'll speak in 3, 2, 1. Captain gets shot a couple times in the movie, and my wife, who is, you know, she is a pediatrician. She's worked in hospitals, and when doing her rotations in med school, she worked in the emergency room in Atlanta, and saw a lot of gunshot wounds. And she's like, he would so have bled out by now. And I'm like, but other people don't have Captain America blood. And she's like, I don't care what kind of blood you have. You would have bled out by now. It's like, he was under the ice for 70 years. You know, and then it's reality versus comic books. And, you know, honestly, comic books will win against reality because they are not bounded by reality. Kind of like the same way that the Animaniacs or Bugs Bunny always defeat their enemies. It's not because they're stronger than their enemies, it's just they're not bounded by the rules of the world. There we go, that looks a little bit better. Let's see, what else? Movie villain. There's Gary Oldman from Leon, which I've already talked about, so we'll rule that one out since I've already gushed about that movie. How about Tetsuo from Akira? I mean, that would be a good one. No, Kaneda. No, yeah, Tetsuo. Well, I mean, Kaneda's not really a good guy. He's kind of a jerk to Tetsuo the whole time. Tetsuo's not really the evil man, you know. You know, that is some difficult choosings. I also realize that I have indeed watched too many movies. Not too many, but many, many. Delightfully dastardly, that's what we're looking for. Maybe Swiper from the Dora the Explorer movie. Those of you who are parents will know that one. Or actually, some of you may be young enough to have watched Dora when you were a kid. Ah, there it is. There's my favorite evil villain. Unicron from the Transformers the Animated Movie, the Planet Eater. voiced by Orson Welles. His last movie, he played a giant planet-eating behemoth. I loved that movie as a kid. And it's not that he's got any specific charm. It's more the fact that he eats freaking planets. And he's Orson Welles. And, he's unstoppable except by the Matrix. Yeah, and if that's spoiling that movie, you really need to go watch it. Cobra Commander would be another good one. But yeah, we'll stick with Unicron. There we go. Day 12 answered. There we go. I'm finally getting into the groove of painting too. It's amazing how just a day off can help you re-energize. And that brings us to day 13 question. How are you doing, and etc. Are you getting everything done? Well, I'm hoping to get this guy finished today, because my oath was to get him done and on his Griffin by a week, and tomorrow is that week. And if I can get him done today and then epoxied, he will be done. He will be finished tomorrow. Pardon me. And that will be nice. That would be really nice if I can get that done. But yeah, it's okay keeping on pace. I'm really glad we didn't do this in July like we did last year, because the kids would be totally out of school the whole month of July, and I would have them all day every day, and would not have been able to participate, honestly. At least not to the even the level that I'm doing now, which is only level 3. I'm going to have to clean some of that up. Really ought to bust out my jeweler's goggles that I have for this finicky work. Really helps you see in close and avoid painting over the things you don't need to paint over. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'm slowly getting to the point where I'm happy with the way I'm going and getting everything close to done. One thing I will say about these painting challenges is, by giving yourself a deadline, at least for me, it really shows how much I've been slacking all the rest of the time, because it pushes me to paint faster. And you guys are watching me paint. And so, I don't want to be like, derp, 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 derp. I want you guys to go, oh man, that guy paints pretty good. Look at that. That's very nice. Very nice. I like that a lot. And so, I'm trying to paint both quickly and decently. And you realize how you can actually do that. Like, you actually can paint quickly and decently. And it pushes you beyond what you thought you were capable of doing for painting. Like when I did the July painting challenge for last year, it took me the whole challenge. It took me to paint my 32 odd guys and finished up another 32 that I had started way beforehand. And those were the first of 60. Those are the first 64 of 200 and 256. Yeah, 256. Phalangites that I had painted, and I've got 64 left, so I'm right at 196 completed. But after that first batch of 2 and realizing how fast I could paint them, I really powered through all the others at a much faster rate. And that helped out not only my painting cue, but also helped out my self-esteem. I'm like, oh look, I actually can paint. I'm so good. Give myself a pat on the back. And yeah, it's gonna need some red touch-ups there. And that's, you know, that's a positive, I think, of the painting challenge, is it makes you go out of your comfort zone. Kind of like belt testing in my martial art. I've been in some martial arts schools where the belt tests come every couple months because there's, you know, a $50, $100 belt testing fee, and the guys who run the school are looking for that belt testing fee instead of seeing you advance. Whereas my belt testing fee covers the cost of the belt and the shipping and registration with the American Aikido Association. So it's like $20 for my belt test. But the test itself is a long ordeal. Like for brown belt test, it took the whole of an entire hour-and-a-half class period for me to test for my brown belt. And well, actually it took 3 1.5-hour class periods because I had to do all 50 classical techniques and then show how I would use all 50. That was one class for those 50 classical techniques, plus others, you know, like how to use the short arm bar, how to escape from grappling on the ground, how to put somebody into grapple holds on the ground, etc., etc. And then do applications for each of those 50. An application, like if somebody were to punch me in this manner, this would be how I use this technique, etc., etc. And then there was the big part of the test, which is an attack line, where my classmates attack me with, at that point it was 100 different attacks, and I had to correctly respond, that is, avoid the attack and issue a reprisal correctly for 85 out of 100. And I messed up, I think, 5 or 6 of them out of that 100, which was way better than I expected. And then for the black belt test, which will be for me in about 6-8 months from now, the black belt test will be 140 attacks. A lot of them, well, the last 40, the extra 40 that are added on, are with 2 or more people attacking the tester, or the testee, I guess. And our instructor, if he doesn't feel that the attack was delivered with enough force or even delivered correctly, like if the card that the person draws, it says what attack they're supposed to do. If it says punch with the right hand and they punch with the left, the attack goes back into the list. And so each attack test, usually, even if it says 100 attacks on the list, usually ends up being about 110, 115, because, you know, people eventually mess up unintentionally. Sometimes he just wants to see if he wasn't sure if you got it right, and he wants to see it again. There we go, that's nice and bright, and we'll put the brighter gold on top of this Balthazar gilt. And come back in and touch up where I inevitably mess up. Let's make sure I've got all the little gold pieces. But man, I've already been, oh wow, it's 20 minutes. I've been talking like a mofo. Oh wow, how time flies when you're having fun. Well, alrighty, I guess I'll let you guys go, because 20 minutes is quite a long time. So I hope that y'all are doing well. Thanks for all the shout outs. Mortis Calzer and Alternative Artists both gave me good shout outs this week. Warboss gave me one early in the first week, which was cool, because I'm an old hand, old cowhand from the Rio Grande, the painting challenge. Anyway, well, there it is. King Leon wishes you a wondrous and happy 13th day of the painting challenge. Heidi ho, neighbors.